Welcome back to the On the Money YouTube channel powered by Allied Wealth, where we help you solve the retirement equation. And that is, how do you live the next 30 years without a paycheck and not run out of money? So today we're going to talk about how to calculate how much money you need to retire. But first, give us a like down below. Also hit the subscribe button and we'll keep you updated when we put out more awesome content just like we're doing today. So yeah, think about it. Somebody who's making $100,000 a year is trying to figure out, hey, how much money do I need to retire? So what we do, folks, is real simply look at some numbers. So we say $100,000, all right, and we divide $100,000 by a distribution rate. And a distribution rate we use a lot of times is somewhere between 4 and 5%. And in today's example, I'm going to use the number 5%. So I divide 100,000 by 5%, and what that tells me is we need $2 million to retire. And the person that's doing this calculation goes, whoa, I'm way off. I've only got $1.2 million. So what do? Do I work longer? Do I save more? Do I spend less? Those are all things you could look at doing, but there's more to this equation you need to understand before you go panicking and go jump out the window, all right? So one of the things to consider is that when you retire, you move from a growth and accumulation mode over to a preservation and distribution mode, which means you stop saving money for retirement, all right? So in this case, this person's making $100,000 a year in income, but they're also putting $20,000 of that money into their 401k plan. So guess what you stop doing when you retire? You stop contributing to your 401k plan and move from a growth and accumulation and savings mode to a preservation, distribution, and income mode, and that's an entirely different way of investing. But nonetheless, you won't be putting $20,000 a year in your 401k plan anymore. So what can we do? Well, we hit the button here and we say, okay, now we really only need to replace $80,000 a year in income, all right? Because again, we're not putting the $20,000 in our 401k anymore that we were saving for retirement, making $100,000 a year. So now all we need to spend is $80,000 a year because we're living on that now, saving $20,000 a year. So to that end, what we do, same thing, we divide $80,000 by our distribution rate, and guess what we're going to get here? The distribution rate calculation comes out to be $1.6 million that we would need to retire and have $80,000 a year in income. And again, you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, Ryan, I've only got $1.2 million saved. I'm still $400,000 short. I want to retire. What do? Well, folks, something else happens when you retire at 62, at 66 or 67, and also age 70. And that is your Social Security benefit. So for the sake of this example, let's assume that this couple is a married couple, making $100,000 a year, all right, and they want to retire, right, and they're going to wait until, let's just say they're 67 years of age, and let's just assume that their Social Security income is now $40,000 a year. Well, if they need $80,000 a year coming in, right, and $40,000 of that $80,000 can come from Social Security, well, guess what that means? That means their portfolio doesn't have to produce all $80,000. So if the portfolio doesn't have to produce all $80,000, they don't necessarily need the $1.6 million to retire. So let's do the math here, all right? So we take our $80,000 of income need, all right? We subtract our $40,000 of Social Security, and that gives us a difference that we need to have coming in of $40,000. All right, so now we divide $40,000 by our distribution rate of 0.05, and guess what we get, folks? We get $800,000. So these folks only need $800,000 to retire if they wait to take Social Security, in this example, at 67 years of age. The awesome thing here is they've got $1.2 million, so they're well on their way to being well prepared for retirement. In fact, they may be able to do it now. But folks, the purpose of this channel is really to get you thinking about these concepts, okay, and ideas. And one thing to think about as well, if they've got $800,000 here, they need a portfolio that's going to produce that income. So at a 5% growth rate, that's $40,000 a year in income. But we've got to go find them a portfolio that will produce a little bit more than that to fight inflation and also cover internal fees and expenses. We also want to build a portfolio around this that if the market crashes, their $800,000 is not subject to a major market loss, and they can stay retired and enjoy the lifestyle that they always have worked for and dreamed about. Folks, I'm Ryan Wheless of the On the Money YouTube channel, powered by Allied Wealth. Thanks so much for stopping by. If you like the video down below, give us a like. Also hit the subscribe button, and we'll keep updating when we put up more content just like this.